Hello lads and ladies, and welcome back for another video on the channel. Today we are back with some Sky Bet League 2 content. Now we've done League 1, we're going to go through every League 2 club and what their aim should be, bare minimum, for next season. Now these clubs at the start of the year would take this. If I offered it them now, that could be avoid relegation. That could be expand on last season. So if you finish in the bottom 6, maybe trying to push on for that top 12. If you finish in the top 12, maybe to try and progress and push for the playoffs. Then to get into the playoffs is a different story entirely, and then promotion. Now, some clubs will be happy with a playoff spot right now. Some clubs will be thinking promotion is the only thing on my mind. Let me know what you think of your club and what maybe your thoughts on the other club's aims should be. Give us a like, give us a subscription. We want 20,000 subscribers by the end of this year, and I need every single one of you. So if you could do us a favor right now, you sat at home or wherever you sat watching this video, just go down there below and just check for me if you press subscribe. Because if you haven't, just press it. It's free. It's completely free. It'll mean a lot to me, so make sure you press subscribe because it does help out, and drop us a like. Let's go for 200 likes. We're setting more of a like goal in the League 2 than the League 1. So get down there, drop us a like, help us out, and let's get into it. Going alphabetically, we're starting off with Accrington Stanley. And who are they and what are their aims? Well, for me, Accrington Stanley's aims should always be stay in the Football League. I believe it's 20 years now in the Football League. They've had a remarkable rise up to League 1, now in League 2. They struggled a bit last season under John Doolan. They've recruited okay. They haven't really lost anyone key. So for me, another year of safety is another good season for a club like Accrington Stanley. Barnet, they've just come into the Football League, back into the Football League, deservedly so after an unbelievable promotion. So for me, again, when you come in, the first aim is avoid relegation. They'll feel like they can do a little bit better than that and go and expand and go and do maybe what Bromley did, because I think they've signed 8 or 9 new players as well. So they've done very well in the market. The manager's a very fiery character, and there's a feel-good factor around the football club. Barrow, for me, there's no reason why this Barrow squad can't go and aim for top half. They did it under Pete Wild under 2 years. They have lost key players like Robbie Gotts and Kean Spence and Paul Farman, who have been crucial for the Bluebirds over the last 2 or 3 years or so. But they have signed some really, really good talent as well. So I'm impressed. I really like Andy Wing, in fact. I think he's a breath of fresh air. They needed a refresh after Pete Wild. So for me, the Bluebirds' aim should always be in that top 12. Bristol Rovers. Now, their aim should be, for me, promotion at the first time of asking. They've signed quite well. They've already got a decent squad capable of competing in League 1. They massively underestimated last season. They were very, very poor, in fact, especially under Caldron towards the end. So for me, Bristol Rovers' aim should be promotion. Because last season, they're a bit like flashy, flash, flash. 3 points for the opposition. Bromley, expand on last season. Now, I think Bromley's aim will be avoid the drop, but I think they've got a more than capable squad of staying up again. So for me, Bromley, go and do better than last season. Yes, you've lost Danny Imray, who was on loan, who was really good. Michael Cheek could leave the football club, but he hasn't so far. Go and expand on last season. Make yourself an established Football League club. Cambridge, top 10. Now, they've been in a losing mentality over the last couple of years. And I think they've actually only won 35 games of football in the last 3 seasons. They've been used to losing a lot. They've got to switch that off. Yes, it's different players. It's a different manager from different times. Obviously, he's come back to the football club, has Neil Harris. But for me, he really needs to get them back to winning games of football on a more regular basis. If he gets top 10, wins more than he loses, I think that'll be a good season for the youths to kind of go again, mini reset. Cheltenham, expand on last season. I worry for the Robins a little bit. I think they could be in trouble this year. I'm not exactly sure on Flynn, the manager there. They've got an okay squad at parts, but for me, I don't see them pulling up any trees. So if they go and expand on last season, they're safe in the Football League, and they're probably in that top half. They did all right last season, but I'm still not sure on them. Chesterfield, playoffs. They got playoffs last season on the final day. Didn't really show up in the two legs against Walsall. They'll be disappointed with that. So for me, if they get into the playoffs again, they've signed some good players. They've got a strong squad, strong manager, good home crowd. For me, playoffs should be the Spa Right's aim. Colchester, top 10. For me, Danny Cowley, anything is possible. They've signed Will Goodwin. That's, I think, is an excellent signing as well. They've re-signed Jack Tucker. They've got a decent squad down there. And yes, it's still missing a few players, but Danny Cowley turned those draws into wins. They weren't winning enough games in the first 6-7 months of last year. What changed in that February-March period? They just won games they were drawing. The Port Vale game, the Fleetwood game. The Fleetwood game was a drawing game. They scored 3 goals in about 15 minutes. You can do that next season, fine margin football. There's not a lot more needed to be done in League Two. Crawley, again, when clubs come down, the first aim should always be promotion, like Bristol Rovers. But like Cambridge, they weren't lucky to be in League One, but they found themselves, wow, we're in League One. We've done so well to get here, where Bristol Rovers probably belong there. So for me, Crawley did amazing to get there under Scott Lindsay, overachieved, lost to a lot of the core of the squad. They've lost big players this year as well, Junica Turner, that they've got Russian Hepburn Murphy, another one. Again, fringe players on the outside as well have left the club. If they can go in top 12, I think, for Crawley would be an amazing season. Look, if Crawley stay in the Football League, it's an amazing season. They'll be thinking what to expect. I don't know what to expect from this Crawley group. They could either finish in the bottom 2, or they could go and win the league. That's Scott Lindsay for you. Crewe. I feel Crewe have always been this progressive football club at League Two, but last season the fall-off was unbelievable, and that was a concern. So if Crewe can go and get in the top half again this season, it'll be another good season. It's another good season for someone like Crewe on a smaller budget. Fleetwood, my club, 14th last season. I say for Cambridge, I feel Fleetwood are a year ahead of Cambridge a little bit because we've had a year in League Two, understand the division, have brought a few more players that maybe know the division a little bit better and hopefully bring a few more players back in. We've got a manager now that knows the division a lot more as well. I feel Cambridge needs to get back to winning games of football regularly like Fleetwood did last year. Fleetwood won 15 games last year, drew 15, lost 16, which was a positive season. If Fleetwood can finish in the top 12, I think it'll be a great season. Progress, getting in the top half, and I want close to the playoffs. I want something to play for with 3 or 4 games to go. If we can have that, bare minimum, I'll be happy. But in the top end, not the bottom end, lads. Gillingham, playoffs. I always feel like Gillingham, the optimism is there in pre-season. They have a manager that you think, wow, Neil Harris, Mark Bonner, now Gareth Ainsworth, that you think they're going to do something this season, and they never quite do it. They start off well, you think, wow, these are going to win the league, these lot. They don't really quite do it. So for me, Gillingham, playoff. Grimsby, great season last year. If they can get in the top 12 again, it's another good season for Dave Artell's men. They have lost key players, the likes of Denver Hume, who's gone to League Two, Fleetwood. But again, their fans weren't too, keen on them towards the end. He didn't really provide them any assists in the last kind of 20-odd games. I think it's only 2 or 3 assists in that time period. Top 12 finish for Grimsby will be a good season for them. Harrogate, avoid relegation. Every year Harrogate are in the Football League, avoid relegation. The job Simon Weaver has done at that football club, the job that the owners have done as a family, the Weavers have done, is phenomenal. So well to get here, and they want to be there for the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years. And the building foundation now, yes, they want to progress, but how far can Harrogate Town go on the budget that they've got? For me, Harrogate avoid relegation. MK Dons have got to win the league and get promoted. Promoted, I think they'd take. Win the league should be the aim. They've got enough good players in that squad. I mean, if you're telling me that squad that MK Dons have got is ridiculous, it is. Come on. Mendes Lang signing for big money is a great signing. They've got good players in that squad. For me, that squad should be looking to win the league. But Paul Warne as a manager doesn't really win leagues. He wins playoffs and you get second place. But this MK Don squad should do more than enough. Newport, avoid relegation. For me, again, last season they were very flat on the Nelson Yardim. They'd feel like they were good in burst. They'd not win for 8 matches, but then they'd go and win 5 on the spin. Little purple patches. So be a bit more consistent, avoid the drop, and try and expand on last season. That, for me, for Newport, new manager, big role for him. For me, I think will be a great season. Notts County, playoffs. Martin Patterson coming in, second roll of the dice in management. Didn't really work out at Burton, although he kept them up, and he came into the building and laid his foundations. And I get that he wanted to play a different style of football. He just didn't have the players to maybe play it. But Notts County, if you gave Notts County a National League South squad in League Two, you'd still expect them to go up because of the name Notts County, wouldn't you? And that's sometimes a big issue for clubs, big clubs at League One and League Two. Bradford City are the same. They have lost key players. McGoldrick, Alex Bass in goal is a big loss. You think of Abbott in midfield. You've lost probably three of the better players in League Two last year. More than enough in that squad to challenge again for the playoffs. Oldham, they're a big football club, and they got out of the lottery of the National League playoffs, which are great as a neutral, unbelievable to watch. When you're in them, you don't want to be in them. Oldham had to play 3 games, beat Halifax, York, and then beat Southend in the final in dramatic fashion. Oldham are a League One, League Two football club. They're a great club. For me, I think their foundation should be trying pushing top half, because I think they've got a great squad. Yes, it needs additions. Yes, they need a new home kit as well, because that hasn't been released. I think avoid relegation, yes. But I think they can finish 18th onwards. That's their aim for me, 18th onwards, and try and push to try and get in that top echelons. Salford, I'm always lost with Salford, because 3 or 4 years ago, you like promotion, there's the money there. With Salford these days, you never know. They do lose few key players every year. Salford, I think, a playoff battle. There's no reason why they shouldn't. Carl Robinson's an exceptional manager. He still is. He's proven that. They were great around November, December, January time. They kind of fell off a little bit after that. For me, Salford's aims, it'll be Gary Neville's aims. They've got to get in the playoffs. I think they've only been in the playoffs maybe once since being in League Two. All that investment, that can't carry on, can it? It can. Shrewsbury, again, like Cambridge, like Cheltenham, like Fleetwood, a lot of clubs, they need to get back to winning games of football, because, yes, they went down last year. They just about stayed up the season before, didn't they, when Paul Hurst came in? They had a good couple of years under Cottrell, to be fair to them. They need to get back to winning games of football. So if they can finish top 12, maybe even, lower, 13th to 16th, just be more than fine. Not really have any panicky moments in the season. So for me, Shrewsbury, mid-table. Swindon, it's so mental with them, because they're a basket case club. Ian Holloway's their manager. Blackpool are a basket case club. Ian Holloway is their manager. I've got a feeling that Swindon can get in the playoffs this year. But I think their aims now this season, after last season, after the start they had till December, shall we say, because that's when the season started last year. I think if they can feel like they can get in the top 10, top 12 next season, it'll be a good season for them. It'll be a massive progression for them. But I think Ian Holloway will be lining up the top 7, because I feel he can get it just for how he is. And that, when he came in 8 months ago, if you just said that, Swindon fans, they would have been laughing at you. Tranmere, progress on last season. Don't have any relegation worries. The last 10 games of last year, they were great. When Andy Crosby came in, they were absolutely brilliant. They won a lot of games, kept a lot of clean sheets. They were more than fine in the end. Hope that that's not a purple patch, because for me, when managers go in for 10 games, 12 games to keep a team up, it's great. And you feel like next season, we could do this next season. Look what we've done over short term. You look at the likes of Dino Maria, John Sheridan, those 2 managers spring to mind that come in, high impact straight away. It's not really long lasting. Push on from last season, try and get in the top 12, because they have signed quite well. I feel like they'll sign in a Nathan Smith, especially. I think that's a really, really good signing. And Walsall, wow. First 6 months of last season, unbelievable. Last 6 months of last season, disastrous. Try and put last season behind them and try and get in the playoffs again. It's got to be the aim. Walsall are a top-end League Two football club. They've been in League One. They've challenged in League One to get into the Championship. That counts for nothing these days. It's a different team. It's a different genre. 10 years ago now, that, lads. If they stop pulling next year, you'd be really worried for Walsall and Matt Sadler. You think Matt Sadler's out of a job, and you think Walsall, again, they've got to start well. But they started well last season, who knows? They've got to be consistent. So for me, stay consistent and a top 7 finish. There is my League Two aims. What do you think? I'm interested to hear what you think at home. So, again, these are just the minimum aims from my perception of an outsider of these football clubs, what they maybe would be the minimum expectation. A lot of clubs will be thinking, we can get in the playoffs, we can do this, we can do, but that's maybe an optimistic view. Everyone wants to get in the playoffs. There's 24 teams in the league, there's only 4 playoff spots. There's only 7 spots that you can get a promotion, potentially 3 that you get automatically promoted, 1 in 4 in the playoffs. It's different for every team. Let me know what you think down below. Please give us a like, 200 likes. And if you haven't subscribed already, subscribe. It would mean a lot to me. Until next time, I will see you later. Thanks very much for watching.